Hey, hello, and welcome to my channel. And as you can see from the title, today we're talking about The Shining. And in particular, we're going to take a look at the controversy that seems to surround Shelley Duvall in regards to those endless takes of that scene on the stairs with the baseball bat and the supposedly difficult conditions on the set during the filming of The Shining, and we'll see what really happened behind the scenes. Well, I guess first we have to look at the rather legendary rumor that's been circulating for a while that Stanley was cruel to Shelley during the making of The Shining. And let me say up front that I think Stanley Kubrick is a genius, and it's no secret that I love The Shining a lot. But we have to ask, was Shelley actually mistreated on the set of The Shining? Or did she and Stanley just have a few disagreements here and there, as might be expected on any film set? Let's find out. Well, first we have to look at the Making the Shining documentary from 1980. This was actually shot by Kubrick's daughter, Vivian, and it's a fairly short documentary, but it does give us a bit of a behind the scenes look at the filming process on set. We even see one scene in which Shelley is laying on the floor with crew members around, propping up some pillows around her, since apparently she felt faint at one point. But the crew do seem really kind to her and very attentive. Now, at one point in the documentary, Shelley actually does say that from May until October, she was in and out of good health because the role was so stressful, and also that being away from home was tough. And then we get this scene where Shelley actually seems to be pulling loose hair out of her head, saying that she's been losing her hair, and we hear Stanley tell the crew not to sympathize with Shelley. But was this done to be cruel? Or was this just a bit of banter or joking around on set? Now, we do see Stanley get a bit annoyed at Shelley in this scene as she's running out the door into the snow, where she apparently didn't hear them yell, "Action!" It's true, Kubrick is annoyed here. But this is a scene where the crew actually have to make it artificially snow. So I would imagine it was a lot of work, and probably everyone was a bit exhausted at some point. I wouldn't call this intentional cruelty, but just tempers fraying. Of course, then we get to the infamous scene with Shelley on the stairs with the baseball bat as she's trying to fight off Jack. This scene supposedly had 127 takes to get it finished, and supposedly it holds the world record for most takes of a scene. Now, you might say Kubrick did that many takes because he knew exactly what he wanted, but maybe he was trying to break down or break through to some emotional core where the actors could give their best performance by going past their usual comfort zone. Just a thought. And I'd like to say a word about actor Scatman Crothers, who plays Mr. Halloran, the head chef of the Overlook Hotel, because it's been said that he was also treated badly by Kubrick, supposedly having to do so many takes of scenes, including one where he was just standing for a zoom shot that had to be done 60 times, that it left Mr. Crothers very emotional and frustrated. And while I'm sure working with a perfectionist like Stanley Kubrick can be tough, Scatman Crothers' own words in the documentary are that he was really glad he got to work with, quote, such beautiful people, I'll never forget this. So, did Stanley Kubrick mistreat Shelley Duvall and the other actors on the set of The Shining? Well, in the Making the Shining documentary, Jack Nicholson actually says that because of the pressure on the set, that Stanley did get emotional. But I don't think that's unusual. On a stressful film set, everyone gets annoyed sometimes. But I don't feel like Stanley crossed the line or ever intended cruelty. I think he was just trying to get the best performances out of the actors. But what about that infamous scene in which Shelley had to do 127 takes on the stairs? Was that too much? Was it abuse? Seen from a modern perspective, some people would say yes. And I'm sure some people would say 127 takes is unacceptable. But Shelley actually characterizes the filming process on The Shining as Stanley pushing her to get the best performance, and that sometimes it hurt, and she would resent him for it, but that by the end, she really respected Stanley and really liked him as a person and a director. So, in the end, perhaps all of the hard days and all of the endless takes was worth it. It seems, in the making of The Shining, the actors really did suffer for their art. Well, that's my new video about that infamous scene in The Shining. I hope you liked it. I'm actually uploading this a couple of days before Mother's Day here in the USA, so I thought it would be a good time to do a video about Wendy from The Shining. Also, I want to give a huge thank you to my awesome comment section. I always love reading those, and thank you. Also, it would help my channel if you did hit that subscribe button. But either way, my name is Shim. Thank you for spending time with me, and have a great day.